Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is doing well. I want to do a discussion about the Liberation Day that Trump did last week. And I found it very interesting that he would use the term Liberation Day for a country as if, the country isn't liberated. I found it interesting that an oppressor of the whole entire planet for a very long time would use the term Liberation Day. And I know it was a play on words, and I realized that, the adversary always takes the word of the Most High, mocks the word of the Creator, and they take it they love to change the definition of stuff. But in this regard, when it came to Liberation Day, with his usage of the term Liberation Day, it made me think about slavery. Of course, that's the first place your mind would go, or captivity. And so, again, if you pay attention to all the signs and everything that is going on today, you can see that Edom knows that their time is running short. They know that the world is waking up. They know that the time has come for their rule to end. And they're going into their captivity, their enslavement. And so, in order to keep the masses of Gentiles, especially the Saxons, and there's the Circassians that look like the Saxons, to keep the masses of Saxon Gentiles asleep, they will say and do anything to keep them from knowing the truth. Which is why this awakening is also a beautiful thing for those of us who are awakened and can see like the extra layered, veiled mockery that the adversary is using via his proxies and tools. It's just very interesting. And so when I heard Liberation Day, the first thing that came to my mind was Jacob is about to be free. But Esau Edom is about to go into captivity. And so the Liberation Day isn't necessarily for the country, or it's not really about the thing that Trump said it was about. I think the Most High is using him to destroy this place, and he's using the heathen Edomites to do it in such a way that they can't blame anyone except themselves. And they have been so blinded by their hatred and their greed and just so self-absorbed and enjoying their rulership and just not being righteous, that they're going to go down in flames because they just don't know. And the other reason is that they're not us, so they don't know. We were supposed to be teaching them, but because we hard-headed, stiff-necked, and we love chasing after them, we ended up, continually in captivity because we just never learn. And you can say the same thing, about us right now in this hour. As this place goes down in smoke, most of our people are not paying attention, and the signs are everywhere. I was watching a video that Brother Yuda Yasharel did today. It's probably yesterday his time, but I just saw it today. That the sky is being loaded with all types of metals and poison. This is basically bioweapons. And, we're sitting here wondering, what are they spraying and why are they doing it every day? All these clouds and yada, yada, yada. Everything's dying and your stuff not growing right and the animals acting weird. We're having all sorts of storms, and the rain ain't right, it don't smell right, it don't rain right, just nothing is right. And he just did a demonstration of how the serpent seeds of the heathen are controlling the weather. And I've been talking about this for the last couple of years, and when I show people, they're like, oh, that's just jet fumes. No, I done been on plenty of airplanes. It's not jet fumes. That's not normal. Do you not see the stuff turning into clouds? And then when a passenger jet happens to go by and they don't see no fumes, and you see the size and the type of plane that's spraying the stuff in the air versus just a regular passenger airplane, they don't have nothing to say. They were like, oh, you just imagining stuff. And so people all over the world are seeing this stuff, but particularly in Saxon nations, the EU, America, the Netherlands, Australia, any place the Saxons are, that's where death is going to be stacked up. And then it keeps reminding me of the Deagle report. The nanotechnology that's in our body, we can't, we don't know how to get it out. It's in the food through the mRNA technology that's being injected via vaccines into chicken and pork and beef. So when you eat meat, anytime you eat meat, it is, unless you can source it in locally, it's likely got mRNA in it. The vegetables that they're growing, you can tell now the vegetables are so big and pretty, they don't have no taste, and they're genetically modified or sprayed with something. So all this environmental pollution, when we were complaining about it, when they were building our houses on top of poison pits, dirty soil, locating our communities that they designated for us to live in near creeks that run into the water table that were poisoned by manufacturing plants for decades. Then the plants closed down. Next thing you know, all of our people got cancer. You just look at all of the things that they have done to us are now being done to the Saxons. And the Saxons, some of them, they kind of get it, but they're still in that, well, we can just vote our way out of it. We can just, protest our way out of it. All this performative, scary, not really investing anything serious into not only protecting themselves, but protecting everybody. Now, they have all the power in the world. And if you see how passive they are now, you can easily see how they are going to be corralled and just walk right into their captivity. And the Most High is setting it up so that, they're doing it to themselves. They've always done it to themselves. But they're going to turn around and try to blame us like they always do. Now, here we are in captivity. We don't have nothing. We ain't got no weapons. We ain't got no army. We don't have no police. We don't have control over anything. But somehow, they always coming around looking for black people. Where y'all at? We minding our business. That's what we doing. Because this is a time where the Most High is actually fighting our battle for us. And I wanted to read Obadiah 1. I think I've read this chapter one time before, but I want to do it again. And I'm reading from the Literal Standard Version. And I have a 120 book Holy Bible and Apocrypha collection. So I'm reading from this. So this is why the language is going to be a little different. So this is Obadiah chapter 1. And the words are little, so y'all excuse me because I'm old and I can't hardly see. This is not in the big font like my Bible is, my other Bible. So it says, thus said Lord Yahweh to Edom, we have heard a report from Yahweh, and an ambassador among nations was sent. Rise, indeed, let us rise against her for battle. Behold, I have made you little among nations. You are despised exceedingly. The pride of your heart has lifted you up. O dweller in the clefts of a rock, a high place is his habitation. He is saying in his heart, who brings us down to earth? If you go up high as an eagle, and if you set your nest between stars, from there I bring you down. And so if you look at what's happening today with America, and even the EU, like nobody wants Saxons. Saxons are the least desirable thing on the planet right now. And nobody is feeling sorry for America. Everybody's looking on with horror, like what is wrong with those people? They must be retarded. And what is interesting is a lot of the Saxon channels that I have watched in the past, it's something about Trump when he gets elected, for the ones that's really racist deep down in their heart, but they just can't say it. They are patriotic and this and that and another. Like, they are rationalizing what Trump is doing like nobody's business. Well, I hate that people have to lose their jobs, but there has to be a correction and this and that, and it's gonna make things better. And I'm just thinking, baby, this is the end. This the end. This is the end. There ain't no better for y'all. Y'all keep thinking that y'all gonna be ruling forever. Y'all not gonna rule forever. Y'all think y'all just gonna be living on y'all little homesteads off the land, and with all the stuff that y'all done stole and all the wealth that y'all have secured because y'all kept us oppressed. They literally think they're gonna keep that stuff and be okay. They literally think that their gold is going to save them. They literally think that they don't have any privilege, they don't have any responsibility in nothing, all the while supporting a man who is literally erasing our history and getting rid of certain groups of people, so that he can get rid of all of the people that they want to get rid of, the undesirables. And they think that they are not going to be included in that population of people that they're trying to get rid of. Now, in these white nations, they are the majority. That is why the majority of them are going to perish, because they are the problems. These people who are in power believe that their obstacle to power is, the white people. Not us, because they already have us subjugated. They already know we don't have anything to fight them. We ain't creating all this poison to spray on top of them. They doing it to us. We're not trying to put nothing in their bodies to control them. They're doing it to us. We're not poisoning the food and the water. They're doing it to us. We're not anti-nature, anti-anything that the Most High put here on this earth for us to have for our sustenance and to rule over. They're doing it. And so they think that things they're gonna stop being able to control everything, and everything's just gonna be back normal. There is no more normal. Their rulership is over. But to hear them be happy for people losing their jobs and not being able to keep a place to live, they don't see that we're already enslaved. Their Liberation Day was really their official Enslavement Day. And they don't know it. And it's crazy. So let me go back to the scripture. A declaration of Yahweh. If thieves have come into you, if spoilers of the night, how have you been cut off? Do they not steal their sufficiency? If gatherers have come into you, do they not have gatherings? Gleanings. How has Esau been searched out? His hidden things have flowed out. So you look at everything is coming out now. All the stuff that they are doing, all the things that they have done, people are finding out. People are, now beginning to talk about it. One, because they see the fall. People are not afraid anymore. And not only that, people are so angry because they keep coming up with concocting these crazy ways to prey on the rest of the world so that the Saxons can survive and live comfortably and richly, and then don't want nobody else to come and enjoy the stuff that they stole. So they've been spoiling all the nations, all the resources on the planet, from the people who righteously possess them. And now they're being spoiled, and all the truth is coming out about all the things that they've done. All your allies have sent you to the border, forgotten you, prevailed over you, have your friends. Oh, I'm just messing up. Hold on. How has Esau been searched out? His hidden things have flowed out. All of your allies have sent you to the border, forgotten you, prevailed over you, have your friends. They make your bread a snare under you. There is no understanding in him. And this is why the Saxons don't know what's going on. They don't have any understanding. And Serpents as well. They're always getting knowledge, always creating stuff, ideas from the fallen ones, or wherever they get this food stuff from. But they don't never understand. They never comprehend anything. They just keep looking. And even when they can see the whole world falling down around them because of things, their actions, they still can't understand it. And it's the most perplexing, frustrating thing to talk to them. It's like you're talking in a circle to a metal trash can. Like, they just cannot get it. And it's because they ain't like us. The ones that are chosen and who are cleaving unto us and understand, those are a different breed. I'm not talking about them, but I'm talking about the majority of the Saxons. They don't understand what's happening because they don't have any understanding in them. They don't understand this word. They just don't. And they won't listen to people who are trying to tell them and warn them. So their demise is imminent. Their enslavement is now. They're in captivity now. They just don't know it. Is it not in that day a declaration of Yahweh that I have destroyed the wise out of Edom, and understanding out of the mountain of Esau, and your mighty ones have been broken down, O Timon, so that every one of the mountain of Esau is cut off for slaughter, for violence, to your brother Jacob. These people, they love to say, y'all are my brothers, y'all are my sisters, but they treat us like trash. They have allowed this system for so long to deprive us of being human beings. Not just us, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, our grandparents, our parents. Everybody. If Jacob has been cut off, and it's been because of them. We didn't have to live this way. They forced us to live this way, and they turned a blind eye and they act like they did not understand. And now that their captivity is upon them, they're doing the same thing. Like they just don't understand, they just don't get it. But it's not going to work out well for them. It really is not. Shame comes. I'm saying shame covers you, and you have been cut off for all time. In the day of your standing aloof from the opposite side, in the day of strangers taking his force captive, and foreigners have entered his gates. So I was watching, I can't think of the little Green Greggs. He's another Saxon. He's awakened enough to see that there are no good guys. But, they're still unrepentant. They still kind of, have this. The tone is fear, but not really an understanding of how much damage this country has done to the entire planet, to all the nations. And so, I was listening to Green Greg's talk yesterday, and he was like giving a very good analysis of this thing going on with Iran and Israel and America, and how, we should be expecting something huge because we have been invaded with our greed, because we have these, when I say we, I'm talking about this country, and I don't really mean we, I mean America. America has been invaded because of greed. They like to get cheap labor, people to come in here and work for them so they don't have to pay us much money. But in the process, they have allowed some people, some foreigners to come in here who have a job to do, and their job is to bring this place down when they get the call. And so, when it says that the foreigners have entered his gates, the foreigners are already here. So we should be expecting any day for something big to happen, which is why, Green Greg's suggestion was it's probably a EMP strike, or foreign actors will be trying to attack the power grid. And he basically said like 9, if they hit 9, it's not reactors. I don't know what they call the little power stations. He said if they touch at least 9 of the power stations around wherever they are, they control the power for the entire nation, and it would take about 10 years to have it restored. But there was a report some time ago saying like Iran or somebody was watching the power stations, and they had an eye on 22. So if they hit 22 power stations, like, we're not going to be able to communicate, we're not going to have any power, you won't have any money, which is why I keep telling you, if you have money or assets in banks or whatever, you need to get that out, because you will not have access to any of that. And while stuff is down, they're going to be stealing. They're going to be stealing. They're going to have some backup generators or something so that they can do what they need to do, but they're going to make sure you don't have nothing. So you're just going to be out here all willy-nilly. So you need to be prepared for that. So, that is something that could happen. But Babylon is done. This place is done. So it says, and have cast the lot for Jerusalem. Even you are as one of them, and you do not look on the day of your brother. They didn't look out for us. We are their brothers. They always say, we love y'all. We love y'all culture. They love the good parts of us, but they didn't do anything to help us when, we were in distress, when we are over here living poor, when they were over here redlining us and taking our money, closing our bank accounts, making us have bad credit, charging us more for everything while they live good, making their neighborhoods good and ours bad, bringing drugs in our community, allowing guns to be dropped off in our community, giving us horrible music, giving us new horrible shameful culture that we didn't create. They created that and had us marketed. And a lot of these rappers were used to talk about how if they wanted to talk about power, black empowerment messages that the Khazarian owned and controlled record industry wouldn't allow them to. They could only make gangster rap and violent stuff and trashy music. So everything that this place has done to us was by design. And these people know it and they don't do nothing about it. They just like, it ain't our problem. They ain't doing it to our community. And everything they do to us ends up coming back on them. So this is just, another situation where, just shows how when we are oppressed, when we were in captivity in all sorts of ways, they didn't act. We're their brother, but they act like we not. So it says, on the day of his alienation, I'm sorry, I gotta read the font is so little. Ooh. On the day of his alienation, nor do you rejoice over sons of Judah in the day of their destruction, nor make your mouth great in a day of distress. So don't be talking no mess when our liberation comes and your enslavement comes, but y'all know they're going to do that. Nor come into a gate of my people in a day of their calamity, nor look, even you, on its misfortune in a day of its calamity, nor send forth against its fence in a day of its calamity, nor stand by the breach to cut off its escaped, nor deliver up its remnant in a day of distress. For near in the day of Yahweh in all on all the nations, as you have done, it is done to you. So we're getting ready to be liberated, and the powers that shouldn't be know it, but the Saxons who have been lied to just like we have, they don't understand that liberation for us really means enslavement for them. And you have done it is and you have done it is done. I'm sorry, as you have done, it is done to you. Your deed turns back on your own head. So the ditches that they dug for us gonna be dug for them. For as you have drunk on my holy mountain, all the nations drink continually. So they have had all the blessings that were supposed to be ours. And they have drunk and have swallowed, and they have been as they have not been. And in Mount Zion there is an escape, and it has been holy, and the house of Jacob has possessed their possessions, and the house of Jacob has been a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they have burned among them, and they have consumed them, and there is not a remnant to the house of Esau. So the Most High is going to destroy them. if they're not cleaving on to us, because those that cleave on to us will be our servants, but we won't treat them the way that they treated us. But those who ain't gonna go, and those who round here in their self-righteousness, they're going to be destroyed to the point that there is no remnant. Like, we are the remnant of Jacob, but there's not going to be a remnant of Esau except for those who are in captivity, the people who leave with us, the Gentiles who leave with us and make it into the millennial kingdom are the only ones that's going to be left. And it's probably going to be a very small number. For Yahweh has spoken, and they have possessed the south with the mountain of Esau, and the low country with the Philistines, and they have possessed the field of Ephraim to Zarephath. Yes, Zarephath, and the expulsion of Jerusalem, that is with the shepherd. Possess the cities of the south, and saviors have gone up on Mount Zion to judge the mountain of Esau, and the kingdom has been to Yahweh. So a lot of stuff is getting ready to happen to Gentiles, and I'm just saying this, and I want us to keep it in mind. It's not for us to judge any of them. The Most High is going to judge them. We will be watching their judgments. We are watching the Most High avenge his chosen people for their maltreatment while they've been in captivity. And, the nations who do right by the Most High in the end, and this is why, I have this mindset now that I'm looking for a supernatural exodus. And when I say supernatural, like nations are going to come to our aid, because they all understand that this ancient word is true. If it wasn't true, they wouldn't be looking for the stuff that they're looking for. They try to act like, oh, it's not real. We just made all this stuff up. No, it's not made up. It's just that there are a lot of lies mixed with the truth. And it is to keep these people from being angry and doing harm to the Serpencies and the Saxons who are ushering in this final age, this no buy no sell system, and this mark where those who who aren't filled with the Ruach, who don't have enough word in them, no wisdom, no understanding, they're not going to be able to ward off what's coming. And I want to talk about demonology in another video, because there are some things that we have never been taught that were in the Apocrypha that we need to know about, because what is coming with AI and this nanotechnology, this Internet of Things, these frequencies, they have totally different ways now of attempting to control us. Control our minds, control our mood, control our sleep, control what we say, control, how we think. And they've been practicing it for a minute. But now, they're getting it with the rollout of this AI and, the aggressiveness for which they are coming out with all these different things. They are really getting ready to amp up the principalities that are in people. And this is why it's very important for you to guard your temple today. It is essential that you read the word and you stay in it, you meditate in it, you talk to the Most High throughout the day. Because when you are purposefully having a connection with the Creator, He's communicating back with you. And it's in our DNA, it's in our heart, it's in our mind. We move in a way that demonstrates to the Most High we are His. And it also puts the principalities here on the planet on notice that, I can't touch that one. Or if I do something, there's only so much that I can do, because that one really is chosen. That one is awakened and has knowledge and wisdom and understanding. I can't do nothing to that one. But for these Saxons, they do not get it. You can watch them on TV. You can watch them typing in threads. I get so tired of seeing them talk about, yeah, this is the person we can get behind. Yeah, we need more people like this. Always wanting to delegate. They have a slavery mentality about their liberation. Like, they think it's somebody else's job to come in and fight for them. All they have to do is go to the polls and vote. And every 4 years or however, frequent they go to the polls, that's just supposed to be the solution. And all the rest of the time, they just work and go on vacation, eat potato chips, and, live a good life in the good white suburbs or wherever they live, go to the good white jobs and do the good white stuff. But it's somebody else's job to speak up. It's somebody else's job to stop the people who doing the bad stuff to them and to us. And then they're always looking for somebody else to do the heavy lifting. They don't want to fight. Americans in the EU in general, like, they are horrible when it comes to protecting themselves, let alone us. They have just, it's really sad to see, they are victims of Stockholm syndrome, just like we are. They believe in their own whiteness. They believe they're hype. Their people done misled them too. And what's getting ready to happen is going to be so ugly and so devastating that, we're really going to have to stay out of their way. We're going to have to really try to live a set apart life and just stay away from them, because they are going to lash out at us. They're going to be mad because we didn't help them. They didn't help us. So I don't know why they keep thinking that we're supposed to help them. They didn't liberate us. We had to liberate ourselves. The only time we get liberated is we uprise and tear up stuff, and then they're like, oh, this is what they meant. Every single time. And so, we are getting ready to go into this season where they're going to eventually wake up and see, hey, it's too late. We are enslaved. And our own people did it to us. They're not going to be able to blame nobody but themselves. But they won't blame themselves, because they love to find themselves blameless. So, pay attention to the wordplay that these politicians and these powers are choosing to use. Like, they use the golden age. We're going into the golden age. Well, if you're going to the golden age, that means you're in the bronze age right now. So they just do just ridiculous stuff, but they do it in our faces because they know the majority of people don't understand the spiritual nature in which these principalities are working right now. And so what you used to be able to see was the hiding of what they were doing. They're not hiding anything anymore. Everything is out in the open. So just make sure you are paying attention to what's going on in the world. Pay attention to how they use words and wordplay. And just like with Liberation Day, I was like, wow, why they say Liberation Day? Like, what is happening? Are we enslaved? What we getting liberated from? And when I say we, again, I'm not necessarily talking about we, but I'm just saying, just nationally, why America need to have a Liberation Day, as if somehow the world sees America in captivity. America has held the entire world in captivity. So it's almost like they're trying to keep the illusion alive and make these white people stay in lullaby land until the bottom falls out. And so I don't want y'all to get caught up in any of this stuff that they're doing. Don't, pay attention to it, of course, because we got to keep watch. But stay away from the Saxons because they do not have any understanding. It's in the word. It tells you they don't have any understanding. And unless they are seeking the Most High out for themselves and having a changed heart, you are not going to be able to convince them of the calamities that are coming. They refuse to repent. They're not going to be healed. And the word already tells us this. And you just look at what they are allowing to be done to them, and they can't do anything about it. They're just like, oh well, in 4 years we're gonna vote. Or if somebody speaks out, oh yeah, this person, it's refreshing to see somebody tell the truth. You better get your ass up and do something, because you about to be in captivity. You ain't repenting. You're still not getting it. Like, they just don't get it. And it's they are as bad in the not getting it department as the Negroes are in the not getting it department. And so the strong delusions are everywhere in a lot of these people groups, but especially in the Saxons and Gentiles, because they have done so much wrong and justified it as right. They can't see the truth in this time, and because they don't really understand the word, and they've replaced the Israelites in the Bible or in the Torah with themselves or the church. They just think they're gonna, Sky Daddy gonna come get them and usher them up to heaven, and they're just gonna be looking down, rescued from all the bad stuff that's getting ready to happen. And they're not gonna understand when certain nations are like, don't do stuff to the African Americans, or we're gonna save them, or something is going to happen for us to get out of here. And just like Brother Yuta, he did a really good lesson about fleeing here. And he did the lesson about I can't remember if it's the Hamites or another nation of people who were black but not Israelites. They helped deliver us out of captivity. And so we have to be mindful of people on the continent, because we don't know where our deliverance is going to come from. The other nations are getting together and figuring out, who they can ally with, who's the enemy. But it just seems like right now the whole world is against the Saxons. And they know that the walls are closing in on them. And so they, this is like the last stand. And not to mix this up with all the other stuff that's going on with the New World Order, because they are over that too. That's their last official stand, that the Most High has given them to rule the planet, or the adversary to rule the planet through them until, the Battle of Megiddo, the final battle before everything ends. We are restored to our proper places and back in rulership in the millennial kingdom. So our liberation is coming, and I think they know it, and they have to tell us, but we just don't know how it's coming. And so, I'm prayerful that things are going to work out. And I don't know how it's going to work out. The Most High might stop all this stuff and give us a reprieve and let us have a break. Let us, have a little more time to get ourselves together. He can do anything he wants to do. Or he could just be like, I'm tired of these people. Let me go ahead on and take this off of life support. We don't know what he's going to do, but we do know that something big is coming, because you can't possibly have this much stuff going on and all these, coded words. They're erasing history faster than you can shake a stick at, especially our history. So they have to be erasing it because they either know we're not going to be here. And why do they know we're not going to be here? It's either because they know we're getting ready to be liberated and our captivity is ending, or they're planning to get rid of us physically. And the erasing of the history is the mental part of the warfare. But nothing that they're doing is working. People are waking up, more and more people are waking up every day and rejecting their plans, but not enough people are. So, anyway, I just want to share with y'all my thoughts about the Liberation Day and how it's just very interesting, when they use words and you go look up the definition and, just knowing that everything that the Most High meant for us, the adversary comes in with the opposite. And so, the same for them. They have to lie to their own people, their seeds, so that they can remain in power. Because if they wake up and figure out, oh, we're getting ready to go into captivity, they will be ready to do something to these leaders. And they just are not ready for that. So they're going to lie till the very end. They probably are never going to tell the Saxons the truth. And the Saxons are going to go right into captivity or be destroyed because, one, they don't know how to really live without exploiting other people. And when it comes to dog eat dog, a lot of them going to perish because they don't really know how to survive. And then, two, nobody wants to help them because, as you can see, judgment is upon them. And what we have to be careful of, not just with the Saxons and the heathens and the Gentiles, but even with our own people, sometimes people are being judged for their sins, for their lack of holiness, for the lack of righteousness. And as a nation, these people are being judged collectively. So when you decide, oh, I'm going to feel sorry for them and help them, you are preventing them from receiving their judgment. You might partake in their judgment because you are intervening in something you don't have any business in. So this is the other reason why it's very important for us to mind our black business. If you are awakened, again, you should be concerned with Jacob first, and then Gentiles who cleave unto us, because they are our brothers, and everybody else you're supposed to be set apart from. You're still supposed to work to teach them the truth, but if they fail to receive it, you got to dust your feet off and keep on going, because you don't have time to be helping people who are not trying to get understanding, who are unrepentant, who are still under the strong delusion, and they love the strong delusion. So it doesn't matter if it's a heathen or Jake's. Gotta let them go, and make sure you are not stopping nobody's judgment, because these nations have done a lot of stuff to us, and a lot of people in our community have done a lot of stuff to us. They need to get their judgment. And so you need to mind your business and let this thing happen, or you're prolonging our captivity. And I'm tired. I don't want to be in captivity anymore. So with that said, that's just some food for thought. Leave your comments in the comment section below and let me know what you think about the Liberation Day. Did you miss it? Did you have any thoughts about it? What is the Ruach imparting in you about what's about to come? I don't have any fear. I have a lot of expectation. I wish I could flee. I ran out of time trying to work with people, our people, You still end up wasting money because they just won't do right. Like it's really sad that our people are this way, and we can't come together to do nothing. Not even with your own family members, you can't even do nothing. I mean, everybody is going through something. Everybody, it's something different, but everybody's going through something. So not only are we going through something, but we're sitting here watching the walls crumble around us of protection, and all we can do is trust in the Most High right now. He knows our situation. He knows what we have and what we don't have. He knows that the adversary is trying to get us, and he said he was going to rescue us if we believe and have faith. So I have faith. I've seen too much happen over the last 5 years to not have faith, to include what's going on the continent in Africa. Like, everybody's getting their lives together. You still got your raccoon faction, but more and more nations are working together to decolonize their nations, to control their resources, to control their people, to build up their own military and protect themselves and not take anything from their enemy anymore. And we need to learn how to do the same thing. Unfortunately, we are still in the belly of the beast, so we don't have any resources. We just have, this is their land, these are their laws, this is, their world, and we're just stuck here. So we have to be delivered out of this place in order for us to get our minds together. And I believe that the Most High is going to do that for us. So, continue to have faith, not fear. Continue to love your brothers and sisters, even when they just can't see. And remember to mind your business and stay away from these Saxons, because they're getting ready to go into captivity, and they're getting ready to be spoiled. And the other nations of the world know who they are, and they know who we are. So if you are helping them, you're going to get smoke that's for them. But if you over here minding your own business, and trust me, they know we minding our own business, because the algorithm's letting everybody in the world know black people is done. Perhaps they will have mercy on us and not bother us. Perhaps. But for those who don't understand what time it is and are unaware of what's going on, they will be caught up in the snares of the adversary. So just make sure you are paying attention, keeping watch, paying attention to their keywords, looking at what they're doing and what they're saying, and just being prepared. We need to be ready at any time to get up out of here. Liberation is coming. We don't know how. We don't know when. Last thing I'm going to say before I end this video is, over the last 2 days, there have been military helicopters flying over my house. I mean, so low. I mean, you could almost see the pilots. And I was like, what is happening? And they're like in 3, 4, 5s, just going slow. Don't know where they were going, but they're probably doing exercise. One thing that I've noticed is that they do a lot of exercises in rural areas where it's dense. A lot of people not really paying attention, and it's just not populated. So people, it's without suspicion. They can operate without suspicion. But we don't know if they're doing an operation to do on us, or if they're doing an operation because they're practicing to go fight, or protect the nation, or go fight someplace else. But pay attention to the sky. Listen to what's going on in your neighborhood. Pay attention to the trains. Pay attention. Just pay attention. Stuff is happening everywhere, and most people just have no clue. These are dangerous times, and I believe our captivity is about to end. So I don't have anything else to add to this discussion. I apologize for stumbling over the scriptures, but the font is so little I can't see that stuff. So forgive me. But I wanted to, share my thoughts about Liberation Day. Because it is to me a mockery. It's like Liberation Day. If you liberated, that means you was in captivity. Ain't nobody in captivity here but us. What's the real deal? So, the Most High may be using Code 45 to release us. They may just kick us out. And if they do, y'all better leave. That's what I know. You better not be trying to stay here and hold on to nothing, because you can see clearly that this thing is coming to an end fast. The fat lady is singing, and the world has no love for Babylon anymore. They're tired of the Babylonians, so don't cleave unto them or you're going to get the same smoke they're going to get. All right, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you will be notified each and every time I upload new content. Follow me on Odyssey, Rumble, and on Instagram. The links are in the description. As long as the internet is up and I'm not being persecuted, I can bring you content. If the internet goes down, I will not be here. So please make sure you go through some of my old videos. I have about 800 videos up now. Of different topics, but some things that I talked about years ago are actually coming to pass. And not to brag or nothing, but it's just I'm blessed that the Most High has given me the ability to see things far enough in the future where I can prepare and warn people. So I just consider myself a watchman, and watchmen's jobs are to watch out for the people and warn them about calamities and predators that could be coming to destroy them. So just make sure y'all are just staying aware of your surroundings at all times, in your states, in your homes, nationally. We got a lot of things going on. Continue to prep, continue to pray, continue to seek the Most High, obey those laws, statutes, and commandments, keep the Sabbath, learn how to know when the true Sabbath is, because it's not always on Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. It's based on something totally different. A lot of people just you just gotta do the best you can, but you need to be trying to learn. I'm just gonna say that there are people out here teaching it, but it's so much confusion and awakening now. I don't even blame people for being confused, because you don't even know who to trust. But you can read the word and do what the word tells you to do, and learn from that way. Lastly, if you'd like to support the channel, a link to my Venmo and my coffee are in the description box. This channel is a labor of love. We do not have, there is no we, it's just me. I'm saying we. I don't have any sponsors. I don't sell anything, and this channel is not monetized because I do not want to be bothered. I've worked on platforms that were monetized, and because of the type of content I produce, and because I like to tell the truth boldly, I'm often blackballed, shadow banned, and ultimately put out of programs that pay writers to talk about stuff. So I'm one of the people who cannot be monetized a lot, because if people listen to me, the algorithms carry out my word, it would be an uprising. So of course I'm suppressed. But anyway, the ops do what the ops do, but they ain't gonna stop me. I'm finna be like Diddy, can't stop, won't stop. The Most High said, whoever's trying to save their life is going to lose it. And I don't want to lose my eternal life or my opportunity to be in the millennial kingdom because I was a coward. So I'm doing what I can and using my gifts and skills to try to wake up as many people as I can. Gentiles, heathen, and Jacob alike. So keep on getting knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, family, and it will work well for you in the future. All right, this is Marley K. Love y'all, and I am out.